After 17 years in Cincinnati, can Toronto native Joey Votto find his way home this season with the Blue Jays? Hey everyone, welcome into another edition of Long Ball. Rob Wong joined alongside by Toronto Sun Blue Jays writer Rob Longley. And Rob, Canadian sports fans were pretty excited for NHL trade deadline on Friday, but it was a baseball signing that really got fans going as reports surfaced that Toronto native Joey Votto is set to sign a minor league deal with an invite to spring training with his hometown team, the Blue Jays. He did make it official on the weekend, is now had a couple of days with the minor leaguers at camp. But what was your initial thoughts when you heard about the signing, and what can he still offer the Blue Jays or any team at this point?
I think to playful Joey Votto to upstage NHL trade deadline day, right, Rob? That's kind of fits his personality. I was I mean, obviously it's an exciting story for sports fans and for anyone involved with who's followed Canadian baseball forever. And I think from a Blue Jays perspective, there was some zero risk signing, right? If he makes the team, it's only a $2 million contract plus incentives. If he doesn't make the team, it's essentially nothing gained, nothing lost, right? Meanwhile, the upside is quite substantial potentially. Obviously, a good feel good story for a team that had by and large a miserable offseason, a miserable winter in terms of attracting free agents, and a feel good story if Joey Votto can somehow summon some of that hitting prowess that he's had through the majority of his major league career. I think it would be a mistake to look at what he did in 2022 and 2023 when he was hampered by a variety of injuries. And if you look back as a more reasonable gauge of what he might be capable of, you look back to when he was 37 in 2021 and had quite a productive offensive season. The thing is now, of course, is he's got to prove it. Joey Votto, age 40, has to prove that he's still got something in the tank and something to offer. We know that he's a left-handed bat who can be productive in a lineup. We know or suspect anyway that he could be a helpful left-handed bat off of the bench, which is something the Blue Jays need, and one of the reasons they brought Daniel Vogelbach into camp as well. Now it's just a matter of him going out to prove it, and he's got a couple of weeks. I mean, it's midway through spring training, so it might seem rushed, but both parties have essentially said that if he's not ready to join the major league team by the start of the season on March 28th, a stint in Buffalo could be part of this tryout process, and that's exactly what it is, Rob. It's a tryout from one of the greatest Canadian baseball players in history, trying to make it to his hometown team.
Yeah, and it is pretty remarkable that he did say, as you mentioned, he's potentially willing to start the season in the minors with Buffalo to try to work his way back to the major leagues. And you look at the competition that he's dealing with in this camp. It's Daniel Vogelbach, who's had a pretty couple, impressive moments. The home run off Garrett Cole, of course, against the New York Yankees. And as John Schneider has said, there's only really one spot that they are going to be fighting for, and it's that left-handed pinch hit bat off the bench. What do you think the odds are that we see Votto play for the Blue Jays at some point this year, whether it's breaking spring with the team or somewhere down the road?
I have to believe it's better than 50-50, Rob. Obviously the caveats are many. Again, at age 40, what is he capable of? But through his career, Joey Votto has been a very dedicated guy to his craft. He's been a very professional hitter. He's been he's been very progressive in the way that he approaches at bats. He understands his body. He understands how the game evolves. He understands how to adapt. So, taken at his word, he's been preparing for this all winter. Much of it in Toronto, some of it in Florida. And let's see what he's got. And I think if push comes to shove, and it's and him and Vogelbach are close at the end of spring training, then I think it goes to Joey Votto for a number of reasons. Obviously, to have the great Canadian back playing in his hometown is just one of the reasons. But he can play some first base. He can play more first base than Daniel Vogelbach if necessary. Spell Vlad Guerrero Jr. over there at times, and his upside is considerably more than Vogelbach's. But that's all going to play out over the next few weeks, Rob. And judging just by the comments that Votto had in Florida on the weekend, I mean, he seems pretty determined to make an impression. He's come in with the right mindset, telling everybody that he's just trying out. But I think deep down inside, Joey Votto believes that he can make this team. And as one of the greatest players in the game to come out of this country, I'm willing to take him at his word and suggest that his chances are better than 50-50.
Yeah, well, Canadian baseball fans definitely rooting for Joey Votto to make this Blue Jays ball club. We'll see how it goes over the next couple of weeks. As always, you can find Rob's Blue Jays coverage at the Toronto Sun. For Rob Longley, I'm Rob Wong. We'll talk to you next time on another edition of Long Ball.